Now, good morning, everyone. Today's topic is pinus needle. The anatomy of pinus needle. What is needle actually? The needle is nothing but leaves are modified into needle-like structure in pinus. It means that pinus exhibit xerophytic in nature. Hence, to reduce the transpiration, normal foliage leaves are modified into needles. So, needle is nothing but foliage leaf only. Whether it is thin or needle-like, even though it do the photosynthesis, only to reduce the transpiration, pinus foliage leaves are modified into needles. Now, this is the picture which tell about the anatomy of pinus needle. Look at this. Here, this is the pinus leaf diagram, which is triangular in outline. It is the example sylvestris. Pinus sylvestris is a triangular in outline. In Pinus roxburghi and in Pinus longifolia also triangular, and in Pinus monophylla the outline is circular. Again, I am repeating the point. If we take the transverse section of a needle, Pinus monophylla exhibits circular in shape in outline, and semicircular in Pinus sylvestris, and triangular in Pinus longifolia and Pinus roxburghi. Now we are talking about the Pinus roxburghi leaflet needle anatomy. Now coming to the anatomy of needle or leaf, the leaf anatomy exhibits three main parts. One is epidermis, and the second one is the mesophyll tissue, and the third one is the vascular bundles. Now the first one, epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer. It is very common character of it, and that epidermis is covered by thick cuticle. The cuticle is also thick-walled cells. That is also one of the important adaptation of the xerophytic. Presence of thick cuticle, presence of the outer walls of the epidermal cells are also very thick. These two leads to the transpiration activity to reduce or to minimize. And now coming to the epidermal parts, there are several sunken stomata are present on the epidermis. The number of stomata are more in number in lower epidermis than upper epidermis. Sunken stomata, deeply presented stomata. Each stoma opens internally into a substomatal cavity and externally into a respiratory cavity or vestibule. So the presence of sunken stomata, look at this. This is sunken stomata. It is deeply presented. So the sun rays are not directly enter into the stomatal cavity. So substomatal cavity is internal one, epistomatal cavity, and two guard cells are enclosed the stomatal cavity. So sunken stomata is also one of the important xerophytic adaptation. They are more in number than upper epidermis in lower epidermis. They are more in number than upper epidermis. So presence of thick cuticle and epidermal cells, outer walls are thick, and presence of sunken stomata, these are exhibit the xerophytic adaptations or xerophytic characters of the needle. Now coming to the xeromorphic. Xeromorphic means according to the situation, according to the drought, the needle is exhibit change its characters and its morphology internally according to the environment. That is known as xeromorphic. Now so these are the three main parts. Now coming to the epidermis, it is a thick walled epidermis. It is covered by a thick layer of cuticle, sunken stomata, and they are scatteredly present in the epidermis all over, but more in number in the beneath the epidermis. Beneath the epidermis, 2 to 3 layered hypodermis is present. That hypodermis also presents in 2 to 3 layered and made up of with sclerenchyma, also one of the important xerophytic adaptations. And this hypodermis gives mechanical support to the leaf. So when we touch the pinus needles, they are very pointed and sharp. Sometimes they cut our fingers also due to the presence of hypodermis with sclerenchymatous tissue. Even one more important thing, the hypodermis cells are present more in corners than the other space of the epidermis. The hypodermis is present below the epidermis. It is few layers and thick walled sclerenchymatous, and it is well developed at the corners or ridges. And in between the hypodermis and endodermis, there is more occupied tissue with parenchyma is known as a mesophyll tissue. Normally, any leaf if we see below the epidermis, mesophyll tissue is present, whether it is dicotyledon or monocotyledon. Mesophyll is the common thing which is occupied the entire leaf lamina. Even it is pinus also, even belongs to its gymnosperm. The mesophyll tissue is multi-layered. But one difference is that it is not differentiated into palisade and spongy parenchyma. So we have to remember that the mesophyll cells are not differentiated into palisade and spongy. Generally, if we discuss about the dicotyledon leaf, towards upper epidermis, palisade cells which are elongated are present in 1 or 2 rows, and towards lower epidermis, irregular or round spherical spongy cells are present. But that is dicotyledon character. In monocots also we cannot find out any differentiation of the palisade and spongy. So in monocots some similar character is exhibited in the pinus. So in the pinus mesophyll tissue we have to remember there is no differentiation of palisade and spongy parenchyma. All the cells are uniform, irregular in shape. If we look at the diagram, see, look at this entire part is mesophyll tissue, which is the cells are irregular in shape, in multiple number and many layers they are present. And one important thing we have to remember, in mesophyll cells, we have to find out some infoldings of the inner walls, invaginations. That is nothing but the mesophyll cells inner walls are folded into inside finger-like structures. They are called invaginations. That is also one xerophytic adaptations which leads to minimize the transpiration. The space of the leaf lamina or the cells of the space is reduced by the invaginations. That is the one important identification character of the mesophyll tissue. Now coming to resin canals. Resin canals are also present in the mesophyll tissue, and those resin canals are storage tissues and they are surrounded by a single layer of epithelial cell. That is one important identification and commercial character of this. And this invaginations also one xerophytic character. Each leaf is supplied by 2 unbranched veins. And these infoldings are all, invaginations are nothing but peg-like structures. Each mesophyll cell is polygonal or irregular and it is filled with many number of chloroplasts. Presence of chloroplasts means it exhibits photosynthesis activity. And these peg-like infoldings or invaginations of cellulose also arise from the inner wall of the mesophyll cells. And few resin canals are present in the mesophyll adjoining the hypodermis. Their number is variable, but generally they are 2 in number. Now coming to the endodermis. Endodermis is a single layered with barrel shaped cells and clear Casparian strips. The endodermis is present outside the pericycle above the vascular bundles, and the cells are look like a Casparian strips because of the storage of starch. Hence, the cells are very barrel shaped. The endodermis clearly demarked the stellar zone from the mesophyll tissue of the needle. Now, coming to the next zone or next part of the anatomy, pericycle. Pericycle is multi-layered and consists of many parenchymatous cells. And some sclerenchymatous cells are forming T-shaped gridder which separates two vascular bundles. That is the important thing we have to remember. There is one T-shaped structure that is known as gridder, which is made up of with the sclerenchymatous cells, which separate two vascular bundles. And transfusion tissue consists of tracheal cells. And pericycle is nothing but which is present below the endodermis. It is multi-layered. Multi-layered pericycle is also one of the xerophytic adaptation. And many parenchymatous cells are made up of pericycle, and some in pericycle zone only, some sclerenchymatic cells form T-shaped gridder which separate two vascular bundles. And pericycle, adjacent to the pericycle, xylem is formed by parenchymatous cells. They are nothing but tracheal cells, and phloem related albuminous cells are also present. Side tissues are side of the this pericycle. Now coming to the centermost vascular tissue, there are two conjoined collateral vascular bundles are present in the center. They are very closed, but cambium is maybe also present in the sections passing through the base of the needle. So if we see the diagram once, we will find out. See, look at this. There are two vascular bundles are there. This is the one vascular bundle, this is the other one. And in between these vascular bundle, this T-shaped griddle is present. The T-shaped griddle is made up of with sclerenchyma, and it is separating two vascular bundles. That is the most identification character when we take the practical section. When we do the practical TS of needle, if we see, we will find out very clearly picture of two vascular bundles. This white color surrounded ring-like structure is known as endodermis. Look at this. It is a barrel-shaped cells and Casparian strip like a belt. And below this complete structure is pericycle, which is multi-layered. So these are all exhibiting xerophytic characters. Now coming to the vascular bundles. Vascular bundles are, there are two types of vascular bundles are present. Conjoined collateral, as it is like a dicotyledon stem or anatomy of stem also we discussed in the last class. Conjoint is nothing but where the xylem and phloem are arranged in the same radial axis. Collateral means one above the other, and these two vascular bundles are present in the center of the leaf, and they are closed because of cambium may also present, may not be present. Next, xylem. Xylem lies towards the angular side and the phloem towards the convex side of the needle. So this is about the leaf anatomy. And coming to the main important characters, if we see, what are the xerophytic adaptations if we go once again. Presence of thick cuticle. That is the first point of the xerophytic adaptation. Presence of thick walled epidermal cells outer side. Deeply present sunken stomata and resin canals also, and sclerenchymatous hypodermis. Then pericycle is multi-layered, and T-shaped griddle present between separating two vascular bundles, and transfusion tissue. Transfusion tissue is also one of the important character, which is exhibit in parallel venation. So finus needle, only the midvein and present. So from the bottom to top, translocation of water and minerals occur. So where is the question of translocation of water and minerals towards the sides, towards the margin. So to translocate the water and minerals along with carbohydrates or food, the transfusion tissue is passes from the middle stellar vascular tissue to the corners of the leaf. Hence, that is called transfusion tissue. That is also one of the important character or xerophytic adaptation. So this is about the pinus needle. Needle only nothing but a foliage leaf which perform the photosynthesis and which exhibit several xerophytic adaptations. And remember that needle is very pointed and sharp due to the presence of sclerenchymatous hypodermis and thick cuticle, thick epidermis, and mesophyll cells are peg-like invaginations or inner foldings of the inner wall of the mesophyll tissue, deeply present sunken stomata, two vascular bundles, T-shaped griddle. These are all the identification characters of the anatomy of the pinus needle. So, thank you one and all.
वहाँ पे मैंने खाना